Hi everybody, Jillian here. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me today. I wanted to share this video with you that I recorded several weeks ago and forgot to upload. It's a really quick video about how I got out of a recent creative rut. Here we go. Today I'm scrapbooking using the Shimelle True Stories Collection to get this photo documented. I don't have any school-age children, so instead I am scrapbooking a back-to-school event that we had at our church because I just can't miss out on a good theme. So part of my getting back into the scrapbooking world was watching some YouTube videos, and I went back to school, figuratively. I watched a lot of Shimelle's little girl videos. I always say that Rachel Ray taught me how to cook and Shimelle taught me how to scrapbook. So I'm taking some nods from her for this project. That means that I'm using a piece of pattern paper that's a little more busy than I normally would use. So I had pre-selected all of these papers and supplies and things like I normally do. I would never dream of making you guys watch that process. And I also am using some of the Forever Young Project Life core kit cards that you see there. So I just went ahead and matted the photo with the yellow pattern paper. Everything as usual is going to be listed in the video description below. So I wanted to bring out some more yellow from that photo. This is a picture of our children's pastor and our lead pastor's wife at our back to school event. And I'll talk more about that in a second. So what I'm doing here is just basically building my layers and what the page is going to look like. I just kind of winged it, and I didn't really have a direction that I knew I was going to take for this. So before I get anything adhered down, I'm pulling out my wax paper to put my title on. I find that's helpful for me to get like all of the main elements figured out on the page if I'm a little more apprehensive going into it. So I end up using the Cork thickers from Dear Lizzy's documentary collection for one part of my title, and then I'm going to use these October Afternoon Daily Flash stickers for the first part. Now I thought that the word totally kind of interfered with my title on this layout, so I swapped out the Project Life card there, and I tried some other options, but I really wanted to keep the blue in that area. Another glitter girl trick that I'm using is to cut a piece of pattern paper in half or cut it apart and layer it in pieces behind your photos to make it look as if it's one continuous piece of paper. So I'm going to go ahead and start to get things adhered down, and it's going to change a little bit by the end of this video. So I'm going to put this piece of aqua paper over to the right of the photo because I felt like that blue card was just hanging off of nothing. And it looks a little weird on the bottom right corner because it doesn't meet up with that other piece, but it will get covered in the end. So I'm going to put my title down and commit to that. So there's a little trap space between the Project Life card and the title. So what I'm going to do is add a subtitle, and I'm going to have the title read Back to School Bash at PBNC, which is the name of my church. And I wanted something along the bottom of the layout there, so I pulled out this branding strip, and I thought it might work there, and I fussed with it a lot, and I end up cutting it up so much that I'm unable to use it. So I'm indicating there that I want some more of that blue from that filler card from Project Life. I want some of that in the bottom underneath the journaling card that says yes. So I went through some of the cards that I knew I wouldn't use because they're not the orientation that I use in my pocket pages. And I just cut off the edge of one card that had that same blue in it. And I'm still trying to make those hearts work, but it doesn't happen. So I end up taking a break to go find another branding strip to use. It's a really good thing that I keep those things. And in the meantime, I ended up pulling out all of the embellishments that I'm going to use for the rest of this page. So I'm going to start writing my journaling before I get to that, and I'm basically just talking about, and I had to start over because I made a mistake. So my journaling just says, Trish and Leanna take a break to strike a pose at the back to school bash where we handed out school supplies to our neighboring families. It was a lot of fun with a bounce house, cotton candy, and about 100 kids and their families in the FLC, which is just a building in our church. So putting the Cork chevrons from the stickers on the bottom of the page, and then I used the wood buttons and some enamel dots scattered around the page. So here's a look at the completed layout along with an adorable hand that's snuck in there and some close-ups. I just want to thank you guys for watching and subscribing and engaging. I really enjoy reading your comments, and I love getting them. So I will see you guys soon, and thanks so much for watching.